Okay, so modernist television mostly wanted to be universally accessible, thus comprehension was based almost exclusively on its surface text. Any subtext that would alienate the audience, however minimally, was taboo. Many viewers had poor picture reception. Others watched television without looking at the screen, such as while doing chores. Shows had to be comprehensible based on their audio alone. This was as true as late as 1982. Police Squad was an ABC series by the creators of Airplane. Police Squad was canceled after just 6 episodes. The president of ABC Entertainment explained that Police Squad was canceled because the viewer had to watch it in order to appreciate it. Postmodern television featured increased complexity. Postmodern TV allowed subtext to play an essential role in the work. Consider the Seinfeld episode, The Contest. The principal characters make a wager to determine who can remain, quote, master of their domain the longest. In doing so, the show relied upon an essential subtext to carry the story forward. The word masturbation is never uttered. MetaModern TV continues the trends of increasing complexity and increasing usage of subtext. But what's more, MetaModern television employs what could be called sub-subtext. Information that is neither explicit nor obviously implied. Information that may not even be consciously registered by a casual first viewing. Deep text supersaturates the text with meaningful content. Intertextuality, callbacks, flashbacks, flash forwards, flash sideways, in-jokes, and hidden references. This gives a text the effect of fractal dimensionality, which is to say, the closer you look at it, the more you examine it, the more complex it becomes. Like intertextuality, VCR technology really unlocked the ability to make TV episodes into deep texts, allowing the viewer to watch and rewatch as needed to process the work. But perhaps just as essential was online communication, which meant viewers could collaboratively interpret the work. The immersive effect of deep text inspires the viewer to recognize patterns that no one else intended. Deep text might seem trivial, but it's not. It invites the viewer to become participants in the creation of their own experience of the work. There are at least 21 proper nouns in Jose Chung's From Outer Space. Virtually all of them have some deeper identifiable meaning. Scully describes Jose Chung's The Lonely Buddha as one of her favorite novels. The Lonely Buddha is an apt title for this episode's theme, the alienating nature of personal enlightenment. In Chung's work, the names have been changed. Dana becomes Diana, Scully becomes Lesky, Fox becomes Reynard, and Mulder becomes Meldrake. Previous episodes of The X-Files had jokes about Mulder owning porn videos. In this scene, we see a shirtless Mulder alone in bed watching television, while the Chung narration wonders how Meldrake receives any pleasure from life, only to discover that Mulder is watching the famous Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot film. The episode takes place in Class County, so named for UFO debunker Philip J. Klass, a founder of the skeptic group Psychop. Air Force Sergeant Hynek is named after ufologist J. Allen Hynek, the inventor of the Close Encounters system for classifying UFO experiences. The UFO pilots, Robert Valley and Jack Schaefer, take their names from UFO researchers Robert Schaefer and Jack Valley. Valley is the source of the line used by the Man in Black. No other object has been misidentified as a flying saucer more often than the planet Venus. The other flying saucer pilot, Jack Schaefer, the cigarette-smoking alien, takes his surname from Robert Schaefer, a prominent UFO skeptic and another founding member of Psychop. The hypnotist is credited as Dr. Fingers. This alludes to the CIA's MK-Ultra mind control experiments, which, quote, administered LSD and other psychoactive drugs to unwitting subjects. Apparently that part's true, as crazy as it sounds. Now here's where things get even weirder. According to some sources, like John Marks and Gordon Thomas, MK-Ultra included an effort named Operation Spellbinder. Spellbinder was essentially an attempt to weaponize hypnosis. Reportedly, the CIA attempted to create a sort of, quote, Sleeper Killer, a real-life Manchurian candidate. To complete the mission, they recruited an experienced hypnotist who was reportedly selected because of his willingness to carry out potentially fatal experiments. This hypnotist was nicknamed Dr. Fingers because of the theatrical way he used his hands to put the subjects into a trance. And of course, Dr. Fingers has a secretive counterpart who is credited rather aptly as Dr. Hand. The foul-mouthed Detective Manners is named for the foul-mouthed X-Files director Kim Manners. Originally, Kim Manners was going to play the role, but that didn't happen. The stupendous Yappy returns after his prior appearance in Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose, also written by Darren Morgan. Yappy is again played by Yap Brooker, David Duchovny's stand-in, hence the name Yappy. Mulder indicts the military-industrial entertainment complex, noting that writer Jose Chung is under the influence of, quote, Warden White Incorporated, a subsidiary of McDougal-Kessler. Writer Darren Morgan was himself represented by talent agency Warden White and Associates. McDougal-Kessler, another cog in the military-industrial entertainment complex, draws its name from X-Files editors Heather McDougal and Sue Kessler. Rocky relocates to El Cajon, California, Darren Morgan's hometown. Even the name Jose Chung defies simple classification. Is it Spanish or Chinese or something else? And at that time, cross-cultural marriages were far less common, making the name Jose Chung sound almost intentionally unreal. Reportedly, the name started as a prank by the X-Files writing staff. Writer John Sheban would repeatedly phone the office pretending to be Jose Chung, an aspiring writer who just wouldn't take no for an answer. Hence, the office workers were shocked to see Jose Chung's name in the title of an episode. Harold Lamb is the name of Harold Lloyd's character in the 1925 silent film The Freshman. In that film, innocent freshman Harold attempts to woo not a Chrissy, but a Peggy. Blaine is an enigma. He wears a t-shirt for Space Above and Beyond, which was created by Darren Morgan's brother Glenn and his partner James Wong. But Blaine's name is a mystery. While there's of course a very famous Faulkner, it's not clear what the connection would be or if there even is a connection. Chrissy Giorgio is probably the biggest mystery of all. Chung explains that Chrissy Giorgio has come to believe her alien visitation was a message to improve the condition of her own world. So who is she named after? Giorgio's a very specific name. Now, maybe it refers to Giorgio Filipputi, who had a UFO experience in 1978 with what he called a Little Oriental Airman. I don't think so. Might be Giorgio Di Botanto, who had a UFO experience in Genoa and later authored a book entitled UFO Contact from Angels and Starships. That could be. Might be, though, that it's Giorgio Bongiovanni, who in 1989 began having visions of the Virgin Mary and beings of light from other worlds. He received messages, developed stigmata, and was contacted by UFOs. In October 1994, he spoke to the United Nations in an event named Dialogue on the Universe, the Result of Extraterrestrial Contact on Human Evolution. Ultimately, I don't know who Giorgio is. I know that probably doesn't have the closure you're looking for, but there are a lot of Giorgios. But there is one Giorgio I'm pretty sure the episode is not referencing, and that's Giorgio Tsoukalos, the Ancient Aliens guy. He was just a high schooler at the time Jose Chung aired.